Good afternoon. Welcome back to Ocean View High School here in Huntington Beach, California for National League action. Week 3, Day 2 here at Ocean View High School. Cammie Craig and Greg Meskel joining you for the New York Athletic Club and the Cal Bears. Busy day for Cal. Played earlier, playing here. They'll play again in our next game against USA Academy. So going to get a good workout in here, Cammie.
You bet. 3 games is a lot. It's a tall order for one day. Here they are underneath the midday sun.
Yes, nowhere to hide. New York Athletic Club here in the white caps, Cal in the blue. Jen McCall, Michael Goldenberg are officials in this one. McQuinn Barron in cage for New York. Bernardo de Oliveira in cage for Cal. And New York will get the 6-on-5 opportunity here early on. Anthony DeBow works around. Here's Alex Rolsa. Rolsa takes a look. Shot clock to 3 and score it. Oh, inside the 2 is the call, so wave off the score there from DeBow. Inside the 2, the call against New York.
New York doing a great job moving the defense on that last possession there. Always unfortunate when that inside the 2 call hits. There's always a lot of movement and wrestling around on the post play.
Especially when you've seen the ball go in the back of the net. Clear goal being taken away. And New York has it back. Jesse Smith, injured in the earlier game, took a shot to his right eyebrow area, so he won't be playing in this one for New York.
A presence that will definitely be missed in the 2-meter position. 2-meter defender.
Yeah. Top defender out there for New York. Roberts, dangerous pass to Obert, who looked for it, but Della Grammaticus was waiting on that the whole time.
Sometimes you'll find players positioning their body in a position that may invite the pass, but expecting to pop up and grab it anyways.
Next thing you know, you have a defender in your way. And now Cal on the attack. And Barron ready for that on the attempt in close by Jordan Hoover.
Cal taking a moment to take a deep breath, and away they go.
Couple of minutes deep into this one, scoreless between Cal and NYAC. Roberts.
Not many options here, but they find it.
That's a nice option.
That option will work. Only 2 seconds on the clock. Roberts turnarounds and finds Schweimer.
I believe they call this Schweim time.
Oh, Schweim time for sure. Takes a little movement back and swings it in the cage. Looks over his shoulder to make sure it's there, and a thumbs up to Roberts.
Love a good thumbs up.
Love a good thumbs up.
Seem to be underused more and more, but
that just screams, I appreciate you.
yeah, thanks for everything. Schweimer puts it away. He'll take a breather, and a 1-0 lead for New York. Inside, and an exclusion. Hoover working in close. DeBow excluded. Power play here for Cal. That goes way high on the attempt from Jack Dealey.
Jack Dealey way up on his legs on that shot, but the ball came up as well.
Everybody went up.
Everything's going up.
On the other end now, here comes Cotterill. Ahead of Dealey, working inside. 1-on-3 now if you count the goalkeeper.
Calling the ball back. Now we're live. Obert working on the opposite side there for.
And there's an exclusion there on Cal and Velicic. Carnelia from the outside, and De Oliveira controls that one. Shimsek will advance this one. Sub from the corner following the end of the exclusion, and then Hoover's turned away right in front. So Jordan Hoover's getting opportunities in close, working hard in front of that cage, but McQuinn Barron there again for the stop.
McQuinn Barron coming out quite a bit on that outlet pass. So when Hoover turned around, McQuinn was right in his face. Not a lot of options and places to go to place that ball when you're looking up a wall that big.
Scary moment there as you get set to shoot, and all of a sudden you're facing McQuinn Barron. That turn is off the bar and away. But Rolsa on the rebound, and a new shot clock here for New York.
New York taking their time here to set up their offensive attack.
Roberts threads the needle. The pass from the outside initially to set things up for Schweimer, and now showing his shot from long range.
Can always appreciate Roberts' comfortability with holding the ball. He just really has a lot of patience. I think at times, you know, as players, we get uncomfortable holding the ball for too long, thinking, oh, I should pass this off, I should pass this off. But Roberts is a player that can take many, many, many of fakes and be comfortable with that ball in his hand and not feel rushed to pass it off or feel that he has to make a move or a decision with the ball right away. And a lot of times we see that working to his advantage as the goalies get pulled further and further out of position or lose their legs, and he can maintain that good balance and that good height in the water.
And that comes from excellent leg conditioning on his end and leg strength and the ability to stay up and have that confidence. Comes back to one of your often made points, the fundamentals of strong legs in water polo.
Absolutely.
The ball in, and the turn, the lob, and that's off the mark. In transition, an offensive on New York. This is coming back to Cal. Feingold. Shreddy now takes a look. Bar down and out as the shot clock was winding down.
Not a bad look.
End of the clock. Good look there to go cross cage. Had it been on target, had gotten it past Barron. DeBow. And now to Rolsa, and he was completely wrapped up by Molina, so an easy call there for the official and an exclusion. Looks like the ball wasn't put in play by New York, and so an odd turnover there, much to New York's surprise. And now Cal can come even. 5-on-6 for the moment as they work into the offensive end, waiting for some reinforcements. Cruz goes inside, and the turn is there, but all kinds of New York defense. Avatal. He inadvertently caught Cotterill on the head as he came down from that shot attempt, but lets him know wasn't on purpose. And now Avatal trailing the play. And here comes Cornelia.
It's a long way to go from 2 to 2.
Yeah. De Oliveira comes up with the stop.
There's such an advantage to be had in the transition between going from offense to defense, and we often see players get tangled up because they're fighting to get that advantage to get up and get going in the direction they need to go. And so we see a little bit of lingering there on both ends of the pool.
And nothing there for Cal as the shot clock expires with 1:20 to play in the first. And Obert will come on to sub out Schweimer.
I think that's the first time we've seen a hockey sub where the ball was swam over to the side of the pool. The sub was made, a high five, and popped up with a fresh player and a ball waiting for him.
Those are some smart people over there. They want control of the
Right.
ball. The best way to keep that is to take it with you.
Yes, I'll be taking this with me.
Under a minute to play, first quarter, New York in front 2-0.
Surprise from behind.
Yeah, nice job by Rolsa. And then a ball under is forced. And New York can take control. DeBow moving in. Takes a look, has time. And now the exclusion, and here's Rolsa right off the head of De Oliveira.
Big save
Exclusion
there.
Yeah, nicely done. Exclusion there going against Dealey. And so New York still on the advantage. About a second and a half difference, shot and game clock. Field blocked and out of play. That was the attempt there from Styling. Sides come even. Just a second left, and Cal will hang on to it. 1 quarter complete, and New York in front of Cal, 2-0. National League action returns to Huntington Beach after this timeout.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor
Do you
of
know what
USA Water Polo.
after this game, what our last 2 games are?
Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
As we get ready to start the second, we'll have Ryder Roberts facing off against Joe Molina.
Second quarter set to begin. New York ahead of Cal, 2-0. Live stats available of this match and all National League games via the Fosh. Visit thefosh.net, thefosh.net, to track the action here at Ocean View High School and just a couple of blocks away over at Golden West College. USA Collegiate receiving their second place regular season plaque before this contest started.
Bit of aggressive movement in the center position for New York, throwing the defender off of him. Ref saying, you can't just pick people up and throw them like that.
Yeah.
Although, it's a nice thought.
Nice done by Dealey on the lob. That got a nod of approval from McQuinn Barron. Mutual respect.
Cal's finding the opportunity with the turnover. And a big lob. We've seen Barron come out of the cage quite a bit today, which has worked in his favor in a lot of possessions. I feel like if it's close in front of the cage, if it's a close range shot, coming out is, again, you make yourself bigger. It's a harder angle to find your way around the goalie in that sense. But catch yourself a little bit moved outside of the cage on those further range shots, you put yourself in a position just like that one.
Yeah, susceptible to the lob, and even with the height and the length and the reach of Barron, it could still pop one over his head. New York went ahead 2-0 in the first. Cal with the first goal here in the second, and looking to tie things up here. A little more than a minute gone by.
Might find the opportunity here as Cal has New York back in his zone.
Shimsek
And there
does
it is.
just that. We're tied at 2. Shafak Shimsek able to hit.
Comes up nice and big, finds the read, puts it through 2 hands and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, through the defense there, and then to the left of Barron and in, and 2 in a row from Cal. And they have tied things at 2. 6:48 to play, first half action.
Cal playing tight press defense, really making New York work for every opportunity.
Roberts threads that one inside looking for Obert. The exclusion on Deller Grammaticus. And a power play now for New York. Roberts takes a bump from Dealey. DeBow will give a look. Shot clock to 6. Rolsa lets it fly. Alex Rolsa stops the 2-goal run from Cal and hits on the 6-on-5 strike.
This is nothing new we've seen from Rolsa this weekend. He's getting quite comfortable in that position and finding that cross cage, beating the block there.
Former UCLA Bruin, 2016 Olympian from the Netherlands. And able to hit there on the cross cage, connect. And credit Ryder Roberts there. He was willing to draw that defense out, even took a little bump there while hanging onto the ball and drew a defender towards him, and then Rolsa able to connect. And now Roberts comes up with it.
Again, Roberts' comfortability in holding the ball and holding the ball and holding the ball and holding the ball.
Which sounds like a really simple thing when you're talking about just holding the ball, but there is a skill to it.
Absolutely. I think it's something that, head coach Adam Krikorian works a lot with the women's national team with, is we have to be comfortable holding the ball and taking that pressure and still maintaining a balance and holding the ball. This isn't about hot potato, right?
Power play again for New York. DeBow. Roberts faking and firing, and Ryder Roberts really showing off here in this first half. We've seen his offensive ability, playmaking, assisting, and now putting this one home.
You could see the different levels in Roberts' height in the water. He comes up, it's not there, kind of falls back down, but then comes right back up on his legs. And to go up and down like that is not an easy task. So, again, using his legs to get the shots off that he's getting.
Exclusion called against New York. Alex Obert will depart. And now power play. And this has been a game of runs. New York 2 in a row, Cal 2 in a row, New York 2 in a row, and it's 4-2 now in favor of New York.
Stepping in the lane, Cal maintains possession and shooting.
Bears will try and keep this alive. Shot clock to 6. Dealey. That's denied. Roberts inhales that one on the attempt in close.
Quite a bit of disruption on that 6-on-5. Hard for Cal to catch their flow and get into position to get a great shot off.
Exclusion on the other end, and a big stop. De Oliveira turns away Schweimer, looking for the quick in close. The exclusion went on Cal and Marco Valecic.
Unfortunately, I think Cal's goalkeeper has a target on his forehead. It's the second one he's taken to the forehead today.
Got to get his hands in the way. Easier said than done. Styling finds the cage.
For the goal, number 9, Josh Styling.
Josh Styling. 6-on-5 connect is there. 3 in a row for New York.
Same shot, same placement. Beating that middle blocker and the goalie. That's a important responsibility to have as that center blocker, and one that the goalie counts on quite a bit so that he can lock down on that near side of the corner and hope that that center blocker has its cross cage.
New York down a person right now.
Back in action, fine goal. Styling comes out the press. It connects over Keswick.
Cal working hard here to create.
Looking inside. Good opportunity. Triple team, though. How fast New York crashes. As Avatal was trying to make a move and suddenly found himself surrounded.
Small window of opportunity there, and one thing that's been impressive, especially early on in this tournament, is Cal's passes to each other and how well they know each other and what they're looking for. I mean, it's just a little shrug to the left and boom, the ball's there.
Merarkey across the way. And the skip near side. Done deal. Nick Carnelia.
New York does a great job not losing sight of the opposite side of the pool. Swings the ball all the way over, catches off their defense a little bit out of position, and finds that near side.
And a 6-2 lead now for New York. 4-0 run for the New York Athletic Club.
Cal working incredibly hard to get their points on the board, and NYAC coming up with some easier opportunities. We'd always say, you know, it's okay if they're scoring goals, but we just want to make it hard on them, right? So it's those little things that can be challenging.
Obert leaking out. This will be a challenge for De Oliveira. Obert all alone, one on goalie. Moving in and hits. 7-2 New York.
It's interesting when you're nobody in front of the cage. It's, okay, what is the decision I'm going to make? You see Obert make a big move to the right and then go back to the opposite side. So it's all in how you're able to move that goalie without anyone setting you up, right? And so you're kind of having to get creative, but not wanting to be too creative, because we've seen what that can potentially lead to as well, is, you know, silly releases or, you know, trying to be too crafty that it doesn't lead to success.
When you're talking to younger water polo players as they get in those situations, as Cal tries the lob here, and that's off the bar. Nice attempt there by Molina. Is it as simple as telling young players, move to one side, take the goalie with you from side to side? What's one of the surefire ways to be successful in those one-on-nones?
Sure, yeah, and I think one is patience. So don't be in a rush when you have time to fire off something quick, when you can actually set yourself up. And yeah, you want to work your way towards one side of the cage and then pick the ball up and move it across the other, right? So you just don't want to pick up and fire it, but you want to work to create your lane into the cage.
Bar out from Rolsa.
Because inevitably you're going to be able to move quicker across the cage than the goalie will with two hands out, right?
Yeah. Even the best goalies.
Good swims it up full for the barrel. Avatal works into center forward. Cotterell on the defense.
Gesgood controlling far side. Shot clock to 6. We're under 2 minutes to go first half. Bad pass there off the mark, looking for Avatal. Cal had scored 2 straight to tie this game at 2-2 early, and now we've seen 5 in a row from New York to blow things open.
Again, Obert works into 2 meters. Fine goal on the defense.
Cotterell knocked down. A little too much on that one from Gesgood, and that'll be an exclusion and a power play now for New York. Carnelia around the way. Cotterill. Reed Cotterill hitting
For the goal.
on the power play.
New York just really has a commitment to their movement, really bringing the ball in deep to shift that defense. Post players are moving, which allows that nice open positioning to go ahead and take that shot with time and some clear lanes. Movement is just so incredibly important when you're attacking on 6-on-5. Again, just to stretch and pull that defense in a position or out of position so that you can have those great, easy shots.
Now, if you're Cal, you're thinking to yourself, it feels like we were just tied 2-2. What has gone on here that we've allowed 6 in a row?
Dealing with the ball. Here with Avital in a set. Working against Carter.
New York's been effective scoring the ball. Barron there to make the stop. Have you seen a trend or a big change from when it was 2-2 to now 8-2, 6 unanswered here?
Again, a few 6-on-5 opportunities for New York that they've earned and taken care of, but also a few easy, silly mistakes, right, which can throw 1-2 points on, and before you know it, you're looking at those types of leads. And again, if you're going to allow your opponent to be scoring, you want them to be hard goals to score. You want them to be working for it, and silly mistakes leading to easy goals, that can really shift the momentum.
And now time winding down in this first half. 2-second differential between the shot and the game clocks. Dealey on the near side. Timer to 7 for Cal. Inside. And that is devoured by Cotterill. That's all for this first half. It was a close one early on, even at 2, and then the New York Athletic Club has run off 6 straight goals to take an 8-2 advantage at the break. We're back with the third quarter right here live from Huntington Beach, California.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Third quarter underway here in Huntington Beach, and New York Athletic Club all over Cal, 8-2.
And New York gets the ball first. Opens on offense.
Olympic champ Cammie Craig, non-Olympic champ Greg Meskel here with you. Alex Obert working inside. Schweimer makes the turn, but nothing there. New York wanted a call, but here comes Cal and De Oliveira.
It's hard to make that type of monster move and not get rewarded for it. Beaten up a little bit in the backcourt, making his way down.
A lot of energy just put in to make that move. Here's some separation. Working free, Barron. The follow, Barron again. Double stuff. But it'll stay with Cal. New shot clock. Cotterill took an offhand to the face.
Cal looking to put in that live entry pass, but just gets grabbed up by Roberts.
Yeah, and instead falls into the hands of New York. Unforced error there from the Bears.
Roberts with the first pass. And Schweimer sets up the 2-meter. Delegramaticus on the defense.
Overpass here. Definitely could see what he was looking for, trying to work for Schweimer into the center position. Giving Cal the opportunity to drop back into their defense and cover the center position.
Yeah, Cal's ready with a double team there on anything going towards the center spot. That'll force New York to dump it aside.
Golden Bears back on offense.
Exclusion. Obert will be excluded.
Both teams running a hard press defense, which has led to some over aggressive fouls on the outside.
Coach Kirk Evers calling for time. Felt he was unheard. We heard him over here. He had to pick up the yellow cone and wave it around. In any event, timeout is called. 6:20 to go in the third. 8-2. New York is in front, but Cal with the 6-on-5 here. And getting an opportunity to try and battle back. We've seen some comebacks. Some teams get close to working their way back in over the last day and a half, so it's not impossible here for Cal to come back, but certainly we'll need to put something together here. And Cammie, a big opportunity on the power play, and with that in mind, we go to the Foch to consult some of the numbers here on the 6-on-5. New York 3 for 8 on the advantage. Cal 0 for 3, so looking for that first chance to cash in.
And we're back underway. Bears on the power play. Lena crosses over. Velicic.
Here's Velicic. Cross pass out high. Shimsek. Shot clock to 5. Blocked out by Barron. Rebounded by Cal. So 20 seconds back on the shot clock. Advantage is over, so make it 0 for 4 on the power play. And then that's turned away on the field block. Strong defense there from New York.
Cal not having many opportunities on the 6-on-5. Needing to take care of the opportunities that they do have.
Now only their 4th chance, and 0 for 4 right now. Styling working inside, and didn't happen. Come back to De Oliveira. Cal's going to get a sub in, so they'll be down a player for this possession.
Giving New York the opportunity to double guard the center position. It's going to make this challenging on Cal to find their opportunity.
Shot clock to 2.
Looking to set. Nothing's there. Having to dump it here.
And Dealey out of time. Caught hold of the ball as the clock expired. And that's the risk of those live entry substitutions. You really put yourself in a man-down scenario.
At times it costs you an entire possession.
Draws an exclusion on 5 dark.
And going the other direction, exclusion on Shimsek. And now a power play for New York.
Styling sends it over. That's Roberts. DeBow on top.
DeBow takes a look, dumps it off to Styling. Cross cage,
It's a good
finds
field
a
goal.
home.
Number 9, Josh Styling.
Add another to the count for the New York Athletic Club. Now a 9-2 lead for New York.
New York really finding their sweet spot on this 6-on-5. This is the third goal that they've scored from that wider position. Cross cage low on the goalie and that center block. They're figuring out what works for them against this team, and they're going back to it every time. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's how they've been able to create this gap. Feels like just moments ago, New York was ahead 2-0. Cal scored 2 in a row, building momentum to tie this game at 2. And now they've had to watch as New York has ripped off 7 in a row here to make it a 9-2 lead. Looking for more.
Rachi takes a deep cross pass.
Merarki, the lob off the post.
Trading with the ball.
Halfway through the third quarter.
Abbott's on set, working against the bow.
Field block there. Merarki off his hand and away. .345 left, third quarter. 9-2 lead for New York.
Rachi sits it down. It's Cornelia.
New York finding their center early.
Schweimer now trying to break free. And an exclusion. And Delo Grammaticus knew it. He headed out immediately.
With an exclusion, 13 dark.
A little
That's all for Delo Grammaticus. He's fouled out, so that's the third foul.
Rachi. Rolls up.
New York still on the advantage. That's field blocked, and Cal kills off the power play, so giving New York some of their own medicine there.
It's a great touch for Cal, sending the ball over the cage. These early entries into the center position are creating opportunities for both teams on both ends.
On the power play, 3 minutes.
Moving that ball quickly up the pool, getting the ball low and directly into set, it's always going to lead to something positive most of the time.
They cross it over to Shirley.
6 on 5 now for Cal. Shot clock to 4. Field block there. New York in heavy pursuit of these outside attempts, and Styling knocks that one down.
It's so challenging to be in the position that Cal's in right now with their 6-on-5, going 5 for 0 on their 6-on-5. I mean, that is a struggle when you're trying to build momentum, trying to build a flow there. I've been there many times as an athlete where that's just not coming in the game, right? And it's so needed to be a team effort in regards to that, and you know, it can be a challenge.
Cotterill bar down and out, and it has to be frustrating because you know the importance of those opportunities. You so badly want to convert on them.
Right, exactly. And it should be quote unquote easier, right?
Because
Because
there's an expectation, right, that you have the advantage. You should be able to do this.
right. Again, it comes down to a lot of times just the movement you're willing to make, the patience you're willing to have, and how athletes are setting up each other. It doesn't come down to the individual player and how good their single shot is. It comes down to everyone moving together and really pulling that defense out of position.
Lob attempt there is off the bar. And now New York has it back. They'll get a sub, as DeBow will sub out for Roberts. Inside, and save there, De Oliveira.
Blocked out. It'll be corner throw.
Our goalie's having to be a little bit more aware with those corner throws. We've seen a few sail behind a few goalies.
Rolsa goes off the frame of the cage and away. Yeah, the corner throw, that's been a real interesting wrinkle, right? Twice we've seen goalies totally oblivious
Yes.
to that new rule and wake up to find the ball behind them.
And it's that aha moment like, oh, yeah.
I read something about that.
I've heard about this rule.
Barron pulls that down. Under a minute left in the third, 9-2, the lead for New York.
Speaking of goal, I mean, Barron has been playing. I'm so surprised about how far out of the cage Barron plays. And it just, I swear it amplifies the size of a goalie. And already Barron being such a large, long goalie, for him to play out just a little bit outside, man, that becomes incredibly hard to find those angles if you're not willing to throw a lob every time. And again, he knows that he's leaving that open, so he's aware of that as well.
Cotterill thought about going full 360. Instead, dealing it off for the outside try. And a stop by De Oliveira.
Oliveira with the save. 15 on the clock.
Carnelli on that attempt. Shot clock is off. Final seconds of the third. Barron an easy pull down. Barron lets fly. De Oliveira knocks that away, and that's it for the third. All New York. They have surged ahead currently on a 7-0 run. They lead 9-2. We're back with the fourth quarter after this.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
As we get ready to start the second half, Menacci faces off against Zimczak.
fourth quarter has begun, and it's Cal
Bears get their first.
easily gliding to control the sprint. New York Athletic Club in command of this one. They've scored 7 in a row to lead 9-2 here in the fourth. Well on their way to victory in this one. Cal, Cammy, they're right back to work. They have to take on the USA Academy squad after this.
Incredibly tough turnaround here. We're talking like 3 minutes before they have to roll into their next game after finishing this one.
Ball turns over on the shot clock.
And the ball turns over. And we should note their preference. There was an opening in the schedule at the next time slot. They were willing to play another game, as was Academy, just looking for more opportunities and getting the chance.
That will be Cal's 5th game of the tournament. NYAC and Cal both playing their 4th game of the tournament within 2 days.
Rolsa
Rosa drills it
right
in
back
goal.
to it on the skip.
And that's taxing. And we looked at this last quarter here, the third quarter. I mean, that can be a tough part of the game, right? And we could see the teams kind of moving slowly back and forth up and down the pool. And hopefully we'll see a little bit of spike of energy here in this fourth quarter. That's a tendency we see with the typical flow of a game here. But that third quarter can lull you.
Yeah, and we saw New York pretty much vacuum up all the energy in that third quarter, as they have now run off 8 goals in a row.
Again, Hoover in a set. Simsek takes a pass and a shot.
Barron there with the save on the Shimsek attempt, and that's really taken the wind out of any sails here for Cal.
Cal looking around, just hoping someone can get that ball in the back of the cage, looking for that person to score.
Roberts sends it
Cal
over.
back into
Hoover.
zone defense here.
Roberts has that one denied by De Oliveira. So Cal, USA Academy, and then we'll close things out here in Huntington Beach with Long Beach State and UCLA.
Entry pass goes into over.
Into Obert, looking to turn, still in control of the ball somehow, despite being almost completely underwater. And
All
De
you can see
Oliveira
is a
controls.
forearm, hand, and a ball moving around and deciding where he was going to release the ball. A lot of times I think the eyes are open underwater and probably taking a glance at the goalie's legs of where could I release this ball.
Like the submarine periscope there, just popped up above the surface, looking around.
Not much time left on the clock for Cal. Might have to look to dump it here.
And they do.
Dumps the ball.
And now this is developing. Ryder Roberts has Obert 2-on-1. Roberts cruising in. Defender giving chase. Roberts fighting, spinning, scoring.
Fights through and puts it
Surged to
away.
his left and hammered that one in.
Again, this would have been a great opportunity to capitalize on the new rule of letting go of that ball and probably receiving a 5-meter call. But we know Roberts to like to hang on to that ball for dear life, and he wasn't letting go, working to find that opposite side of the cage and nailing it in.
Doesn't have time for that. He's trying to get back on the 405 before the traffic sets in. .528 left in the fourth. 11-2, New York is in front.
Feingold takes the ball on top. Into Aberthal.
Pass inside, nobody home. Easy gather for Barron.
For the recovery.
New York up on the advantage here. Let's see how they'll sort it out. They have a few options. Sometimes more options aren't the better option.
Ball up pool and crosses to Rosa. Rosa puts
Rolsa
it
just one taps that in.
in, and that drops
De Oliveira
it.
comes out,
10 dart.
but an exclusion first. This will go against Cal and Feingold. A power play now for New York. Rolsa inside, and a penalty.
Here goes the penalty.
looked to deal it into DeBow, and as he tried to one-time it, was dragged down, and the penalty's called. It'll be Styling to take the penalty.
Getting organized their spacing.
And Feingold, rather Styling makes that count. Josh Styling hitting.
Another angle here. We talked about creating a database of where the tendencies of 5-meter shooters are going now that we're seeing a lot more 5-meter penalty shots in the game.
We've seen our fair share of bunny attempts right over the head.
Yep.
But otherwise, folks definitely tend to pick a corner and go hard.
We haven't seen a lob or a backhand.
No.
That would be getting pretty
A
fancy.
little more risque there. Waiting for someone to kick the ball in. That'd be interesting.
Out of the tall break free, but the pass taken away by Cotterell.
Cal's definitely present here, but you wonder how many of these athletes are thinking about the next game that they have to play and if that's at all playing a role here.
Try and leave something in the tank, down 12-2.
That's a dangerous way to play. You never want to leave anything in the tank. You want to leave it all out there.
Under 4 to play, fourth quarter. That's a score. So Styling hits on the penalty shot and then works his way along 2 meters and drills that attempt.
Working away there, creating the opportunity for himself there. Top shelf, hitting off that top bar, and down it goes.
We've had some lopsided affairs today, Cammie.
We have.
Not the most thrilling matchups. Hopefully our last 2 here will prove to be a bit more competitive. Now maybe they can put some things together and launch themselves into that next game against Academy. Shimsek. He's blocked away. Good coverage there from Schweimer coming over to field block and knock that one out.
Bo sends the ball down line.
Obert now moving in.
Over.
Obert gets past the defender, working, spinning, stuffed by De Oliveira.
By De Oliveira.
And it'll go back to Cal with 3 minutes to play.
Obert working his way back into that space that he feels most comfortable in. Take me home to 2 meters.
He's confident when he gets in there.
I'm just going to roll and spin and then stretch out and go for it.
Talked about athletes being comfortable holding the ball.
Yeah.
He's one of them. He's happy
As
to
long as
hang
his
on to
head
it.
is underwater, he's comfortable hanging onto the ball and dancing it around the surface of the water.
He is happy to just keep churning towards the cage.
Looks like we have a loose ball in the field here. We might have to clear out.
And now we'll get a stoppage. Good eye, Cammie. Folks in the warm-up area got to get their act together.
Clean it up.
And back in Hoyt.
Have you seen those photos? And we had this happen at a game, which you might have been playing in the game, when a bird lands in the pool.
Oh, the ducks are like cruising
Yes.
along while you're in the middle of getting drowned by a giant Hungarian woman. Yeah, I've seen that.
That's a lot of fun. I think the game we played at Manhattan Beach, you were there, you played. I watched the game, but we had a duck, I think, land in the pool and just kind of casually hang out for a little while. Or it was a seagull. A seagull popped down and then took off moments later. Great moments in USA water polo history, the time the seagull showed up.
Thrilling.
13-2, New York leads with 1:40 to play in the fourth. Cal will hang around. They're going to take on USA Academy, who's warming up. And then we'll finish off with UCLA and Long Beach State.
And Oberton at set. Started by Geskich. Your pass goes in.
And that's the shot clock. Ball comes back to Cal.
It is over the shot clock.
Cal scanning the pool here, looking for their opportunities.
Lob attempt. That's off the bar.
And a shot. Blocked by Barrett. Rebound. New York is under our final minute.
Under a minute to play.
Not a lot of motivation to swim back to the other side.
Everyone wants to stay where they are. Can we just shoot it from here?
Exactly. We'll have to go widescreen here to get all of our field players in the picture.
Mirarki tries to go ahead to Carnelia. Shot clock to 4. And a field block. Ooh, lots of trash talking here between Carnelia and Dealey. It's like a double exclusion, perhaps? Actually, they're just going to separate everybody and realize this game was over in 6 seconds. So Carnelia was looking to get one last shot off. Dealey not having it in his face to deliver that field block. And that's all. There may have been an exclusion there, but that's besides the point. The game is ended. New York Athletic Club defeats Cal 13-2. Dominant effort here from New York. This was a 2-0 lead for New York, a 2-2 game, and then New York scores the rest of the goals, ripping off 11 unanswered to take this one over Cal. We're coming right back as Cal will take on USA Academy. So come back and join us right here on USA Water Polo TV.